Hi, today we're here to talk about motivational theories and an in-depth look at the motivational models and theories in the workplace. Americans work more hours per year than the rest of the world. The question is, why do we work? What motivates us and what makes waking up in the morning worth the hassle? Why do employees strive to perform better or why don't they? These questions will be answered today in this presentation on motivating the masses. There are several strategic theories that have been successful in motivating employees. The individual differences an employee has determines which strategy will be taken into consideration to determine what motivates them. This includes intrinsic rewards, extrinsic rewards, individual needs, behaviors, personal needs, and organizational factors. Essentially, the definition of motivation can be summed up in three parts: persistence, or how hard a person works, intensity, or what a person does, and the direction they take towards achieving a result or goal directed behavior. Knowing these factors will help motivate your employees immensely because essentially, a happy employee is more satisfied and productive at work while influencing others and promoting good work ethics. There are two theories used when motivating employees to meet organizational goals: content theories and process theories. Content theories are based on individual needs that can be either psychological or physiological. An example of this would be Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory, which is based on the hierarchy of needs that consists of physiological needs such as food, sleep, shelter, clothing, social needs such as friendship, love, and affection, self-esteem needs such as self-fulfillment, self-confidence, and self-actualization in order for individuals to reach their highest potential. Process theories will provide perspectives on the needs approach and relate to how an individual interprets information and what rationale affects the behavior in the decision-making process to satisfy their needs. Process theories further explain the influence on an employee's behavior and the potential impact on increasing motivation. An example of this would be Vroom's expectancy theory, which is based on the drive or how badly a person wants something and their perception of how likely they will get it. It is also known as the VIE theory, which stands for valence, instrumentality, and expectancy. The expectancy theory consists of a few key concepts that shows the ability to determine a person's performance based on effort and environment. Another important theory Stacey Adams developed is the equity theories, which are based on being treated fairly in comparison to others. I'm sure there's plenty of times where we had been in an unfair situation by the comparisons that we made. It is natural for people to compare themselves to others and then make judgments accordingly. If an individual feels that they are being treated fairly, then they should continue to maintain those motivations to their current situation. Although, if an individual does not feel that they are being treated fairly, then there are methods they can use to reduce this. Another way to better your employees' performance is to implement behavior modifications or use the reinforcement theory.
Reinforcement theory is made up of four different types of reinforcements: positive and negative reinforcement, extinction, and punishment. B.F. Skinner displayed that every type of reinforcement has a resulting behavior that is dependent on how management reacts to each situation. The goal within his theory is to promote positive reinforcement, which can increase employee performance. There are multiple techniques we can use to promote this theory, but three that are most likely to be used are management by objectives, also known as MBO, employee recognition programs, and incentive compensation plans. The MBO programs are built around a reward system aimed to motivate employees to complete goals within a set time frame. The manager and employee meet and establish these goals and develop a plan to complete them. The MBO programs consist of three elements: inputs and resources, activities and processes, and outputs. They go hand in hand with Edward Locke's goal setting theory. Locke's theory states that goal-oriented employees are more motivated to complete tasks in a timely manner to obtain the established reward set. Employee recognition programs were created to show appreciation to certain employees for different activities. This is done so by recognizing employees verbally with a thank you through company websites or message boards, for example. This is established to give employees who are putting in extra efforts the recognition to continue improving their performance. B.F. Skinner's reinforcement theory emphasized rewarding an employee immediately following positive action, which will encourage repetition of this preferred behavior with little or no cost to the organization. Incentive compensation plans are similar to MBO programs and are also known as pay for performance plans. Different types of rewards that come from this are wage incentives, piece rate plans, profit sharing, bonuses, gain sharing, and skill-based pay. Skill-based pay could be seen as the most beneficial and motivating one because it rewards an employee for being knowledgeable and able to complete a wide range of jobs. This allows an individual to make money without being promoted, make more money without being promoted. This is similar to MBO programs because rewards are a direct result of production. To sum up the theory and techniques listed, if an individual has goals that will result in appealing rewards, they will be motivated to put in more effort to obtain it.
Now, most of the strategies to increase motivation center around using recognition and rewards. But what if those models are incorrect? In 2006, researchers in Germany conducted experiments on motivation with toddlers. They'd put a toddler in a room with his or her favorite toys. A researcher would sit in the room at a desk working, drop something like a pencil, and then make struggling sounds to indicate she couldn't reach the pencil to pick it back up. The researchers found that 78% of toddlers would stop playing with the toys and come pick up the pencil. To see if the toddlers who were helpful could be encouraged to always be helpful, the researchers divided them into 3 groups. In group 1, the toddlers would get small toys as rewards for helping. In group 2, the toddlers would be praised for helping. And in group 3, the assistant would just take the pencil with neither praising the child nor rewarding them. They ran this experiment several times to let the children learn the behavior and then ran it again without rewards to see how the training had impacted the kids. It turned out that 89% of the time, the kids who hadn't received any rewards or praise still helped pick up the pencil. The kids who had been praised picked up the pencil 81% of the time, but the kids who had been rewarded previously now only helped 53% of the time. Now, this is the opposite of what we'd expect, as praise and rewards are usually the primary means businesses use to motivate their employees. So if those aren't necessarily the keys to motivation, what are? To answer that question, Neil Doshi and Lindsay McGregor posited that there's a spectrum of reasons people have to work that fall into 6 distinct categories divided by type: direct motives and indirect motives. Direct motives are specifically tied to the work itself and increase employee engagement. The first of the direct motives is play. This is when the work itself is the reward. You enjoy doing it. Now, of course, what constitutes play varies from person to person. My boyfriend loves coding. He'd find that fun. I wouldn't. I, however, love research and synthesizing data, so that would be play to me. The next direct motive is purpose. You may or may not enjoy the work itself, but you value the outcome of it. You understand the purpose of your role within the larger organization and how your job contributes. An easy way to think of this is to imagine 2 stone cutters. When asked what they were doing, the first replies that he's laying bricks. The second replies that he's building a cathedral. That's high purpose. The final direct motive is potential. This is when the work enhances your own potential. It may broaden your knowledge or skill set. It could be a stepping stone to the job you really want. So what about indirect motives? Indirect motives are more removed from the work, and unlike direct motives, they tend to decrease employee engagement. The first of these is emotional pressure. With emotional pressure, you work because emotions like disappointment, guilt, or shame compel you to. For example, you put in overtime because you don't want to let your boss down. You work because your family is counting on you. The next indirect motive is economic pressure. An obvious example of this is working because you have bills to pay, but it can also be doing things to earn a reward or to avoid punishment. The last and most disengaging indirect motive is inertia. With inertia, you work today simply because that's what you did yesterday. Now, obviously, a person is not motivated by only one of these 6 motives. These motives are part of a spectrum called total motivation, or TOMO, and a person's TOMO is influenced by all 6 categories. Doshi and McGregor figured out that not only was TOMO measurable, but by increasing a person's direct motives while minimizing his or her indirect motives, TOMO could be increased, and increased TOMO resulted in increased productivity. Now, clearly, increased productivity is important in business, but there's not really a one-size-fits-all model to motivate employees. People are complicated, and what works for one person might not work for another. Hopefully, by covering some of the popular theories, we've helped you come up with some of the ideas for how you can motivate your own teams.
Thank you all for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.